Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska track and field head coach Justin St. Clair was named Big Ten Men's Coach of the Year after leading the team to its second consecutive conference title this past weekend. In Nebraska tennis news, 5 Huskers from the men's and women's team earned academic all-district honors. The NBA playoffs continue tonight as the Celtics look to close out the series at home against the Cavaliers. Boston leads 3-1. And that game is currently underway. Also, the Thunder host the Mavericks in a pivotal Game 5. That series is tied at 2 games apiece, and that game starts at 8:30. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for 2 hours of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Morgan brings it in. Tyler Stone rips one to right. That's hit deep, and that ball is gone. Tyler Stone ties us up at 4. A 3-run blast to right. Stoney into the bullpen, and it's a new game here in Lincoln.
McDermott, the right-hander, deals. Pineda swings and lifts a fly ball to left field. Going back is Peterson. It's over her head and rolling all the way to the wall. Bacon scores. Bland scores. A 2-run double for Pineda. And the Huskers boost the lead to 6-2 in the third.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Our final Sports Nightly of this week is baseball moves up a week, so we will have baseball on the air coming up tomorrow. But speaking of baseball, we got a fun show lined up for you because we've got a couple of our good friends that are going to be joining us, helping us out here tonight. Damon Benning coming up in just a few minutes, and Ben McLaughlin will be here in hour number 2. Lots on the line, which is always a good thing going into the final regular season series of a baseball season. And Huskers right there in the thick of a Big Ten title race. They're going to need a little bit of help from Purdue, but they're right there. They put themselves in a position to go compete for a Big Ten title. So we're going to dive into all of that with Ben McLaughlin, look at the overall landscape, and dive into that Purdue-Illinois matchup. So the series that we'll be paying closely to as Illinois has a game lead over the Huskers. Cole is back with us, too. Cole, did you have a good day off? You went golfing.
We're back. We had a great day. Went to Pioneers out in West Lincoln.
Right?
Walked, yeah, just 9 holes, though.
It was nice, though, last night.
I went in the evening. I went after all the other golfers got started, so I could kind of go at my own pace. It was kind of dark, but wonderful to get back out. I'm not shooting the ball quite like how they're going to be shooting it this weekend at the
PGA Championship,
but I'm trying my best.
So you didn't play very well then, is that what you're saying?
It's still May. I have time. I'll be all right.
You don't peak till August?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we are going to have some PGA Championship picks coming up. I also have Greg's pick. So, spoiler alert, it is not Scotty Scheffler. Also, Cole, I have a bone to pick with you because you were not here last night. How about my Thunder that you said were not going to win the other night?
That was just a scare tactic because I knew you guys would win and even it up, but it's a good series. It's a good series.
Another game tonight, so we'll be paying close attention to that. But how about the WNBA last night? It was just by far the biggest debut opening night of the WNBA, I think, in its league's history. Maybe going back to when the league even first premiered. But, a lot was made of Caitlin Clark's performance. I think she had 20 points, 10 turnovers, which was a record. And I know a lot of people were talking about Diana Taurasi saying, hey, it's completely different. And they took it as she was hating on Caitlin Clark, but really she's just any rookie. And you think about it, too, the turnaround is unlike any other professional sport because it's the women's game. The women's tournament ends in April, and then they are playing now in May. So it's a month in between playing college and playing professionally and, against women that have been playing a long time, and it's very physical. And it's just an adjustment. And most other professional leagues, you get a little bit of an adjustment period going through camp and practices and all of that, but it's a quick turnaround. I brought that up though because it was the most watched WNBA game ever on ESPN platforms. And, I know we've talked a lot about the Supernovas here. When John Baylor was here, we asked him about that. But just the continued growth for women's professional sports, it makes me so excited for our current student athletes and the opportunities that they're going to have that a lot of the women that played before them did not have. And, hopefully they're going to expand the WNBA league. We talked some about that last night, about Jazz Shelley getting waived by the Phoenix Mercury over the weekend. And there's just not many teams in the WNBA and only 12 roster spots. And so there's just not a lot of opportunities in the WNBA. So hopefully with the exposure, I know people are sick of hearing about Caitlin Clark, but, with this kind of exposure and continuing to grow the game and hopefully allowing maybe for some expansion. But I retweeted this on my Twitter. Terrence Knighton posted this, and I agree with him. He said, an Omaha team would sell out every game. So Bleacher Report had posted about the Bay Area's new WNBA team will be in Golden State or whatever, and he quote tweeted and said, an Omaha team would sell out every game. I agree. I think maybe Omaha should make a push for a WNBA team. All right, we got to get to a quick break here, so we have plenty of time with Damon Benning and getting into a lot of different things with him. So we'll get to our first break, and coming up after the break, we'll get into lots of fun stuff with Damon. So keep it here on Sports Nightly. And if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I promised you he was coming in tonight, and he has delivered. Damon Benning is stopping by, and I actually said last night at the end of the show, you texted me about every day about your charger that you owe me an appearance on Sports Nightly.
Yeah.
So we have your charger here. You just got to come by and get it.
I know. And I was there all weekend. I should have stopped to see you, but I actually gave you a little bit of love this morning on the show. I was very kind. I said, hey, you're back to numero uno. I appreciate you. And you said, well, full disclosure, is actually Russ. Right? There's like two people on the planet that could get in on that sixth floor, and Russ is one of them. So I said, even JC is like the coach rule deferral. She deflects compliments and she absorbs criticism. Like if there's nothing that says radio team, it's that.
Well, listen, he had to go up there like 3 times because you apparently didn't leave it all together. So it was like in different parts. So he had to go up there and find it. So how do you give credit where credit was due to Russ?
I'm telling you, he's been fantastic. He even got Colio to come in early because I was being a little high maintenance because I didn't want to go through traffic.
Yes. Okay, well, you said you were here last weekend. It's been busy. I mean, I talked about this last night, but yesterday I had a big recruit on campus, and from the time I got here, about 9 a.m., all day, you know, the music's blaring. You know how it is. All the TVs are on, and you can just tell when it's a big-time recruiting day or weekend, and it was, and it has been, it feels like, pretty much since spring football ended.
It's incredible, and it's their willingness to just do the little things. Like Mother's Day weekend isn't really advantageous for anyone, but the staff was on board. You've got parents that were on board just because of the open lines of communication to make that a visiting weekend. And Nebraska made themselves available. And, you hope things like that over time pay dividends, but it was a fantastic weekend, and they're just always on the gas. I mean, you know that they give you from support staff to like the on-campus tours to a man or a woman. JC, it was interesting how people said, with this staff, it's just every time you're around them, you just want to do better. You like, what more can I do? How can I maximize the day? And everybody says it. So it's just like, Coach Rule's a heck of a leader in this staff. I don't know if I'd want to work for him, but, I'm a little lazy, so I don't know if I could cut it. But, man, it's amazing how everybody just steps up.
Not only that, But like it's also too what I have come to find with no matter who it is that you're talking to, they treat you like you're one of them. You, right? One of us. I mean, it is, and it's genuine, and it's not an act, and it's, you know, I know that's a lot of people, that's the spiel and the act that they get on recruiting weekend, but I'm not getting recruited, and it is genuine how kind they are to pretty much, I mean, to everybody that I haven't encountered and everybody I've seen encounter with them.
Yeah, it's such an interesting approach, right? It's the model behavior, watch us work, look at what we say. You know, he started off the weekend, he said, you know, my job for you guys isn't to get you to the University of Nebraska. It's to help you find a home. I want you guys to get an idea of what home means to us, what home means to me. And while you guys are doing your thing around the country, become comfortable in finding a home. He gave a great analogy to growing up about how he may have been jealous of other people's stuff, like, you know, maybe he wanted his buddy's TV or a bigger house, but he said he was never jealous of anyone else's home, and he described it. I thought it was one of the more powerful things that I had heard, and he's basically empowering young people. Hey, listen, if we're not for you, that's okay, but this is who we are, and if you want us, we've got you with open arms. And I kind of like the approach, and I think for him, it's why you get such a family feel, because that's truly what they're about. They try to model the characteristics that go along with the words.
So, you know, this program has been all over, you know, trending and making the splashy headlines, all of that. And it just seems like there's so much momentum right now. What and I think it's showing in recruiting and the type of guys that they're getting in here that want to come here and see what it's all about. What do you think? Why do you think that's been such a domino effect to where there's so much interest and everybody wants to know what's going on here?
Hard work and attention to detail. I know it sounds, you know, kind of corny or a cliche, but sometimes it is what it is. And they don't skip a beat from, you know, the little gifts they hand out for Mother's Day to making sure that they leave open seats in assigned seats so people can move around and talk, to make sure that they're constantly, hey, how are you doing? Is there anything I can get for you? And you see it modeled from top to bottom. And there's this thing, Jessica, when you're super authentic like that and you just put it out there, two things happen. Number one, you give people a real snapshot into who you are. Number two, it leaves you wanting more. Like, I'm curious, like, what is it about these people that makes X seem like this? And that's really, I think, the crux of what they do. Their ability to communicate and to be upfront and authentic, I think, up to this point has been bar none. And it leaves you everybody wants to see what the fuss is about. Hey, this team is, you know, 5-7 last year. Like, what's all the fuss? And then it creates conversation, and before you know it, it's like, yep, I could see it. It's a pretty good trajectory.
You know, to hit on your point, too, about everybody being kind and genuine and all of that, don't confuse that for these coaches not going to coach hard and not hide that from recruits either. I mean, I was at a practice, and there was a recruit there, and, you know, they said, hey, go get in that huddle and see what it's going to be like to be coached by Terrence Knight and whoever it might be. And they don't shy away from it. They're going to coach you hard, but I think that's where that balance comes in. You know, it's so genuine. You know that they care about you, so that you are maybe more okay with being coached harder too. And not all the coaches coach the same, but certainly there are a few of them that are not afraid to get on you and coach you hard, and they're going to love you harder. Yeah, that's 100% the way it is, and they're pretty upfront about it. I mean, the player panel, which consisted of Vincent Carroll Jackson, James Williams, and Canuck, was such an interesting blend. You had the recruited high schooler, you had the walk-on, and you had the portal transfer. And their coaches are really turning it over to players. You don't know what questions parents and players are going to ask because the coaches aren't in those sessions. And you talk about painting a picture of a caring, not coddling, and loving culture.
They did a fantastic job. And what you found yourself being captivated by is you'd say to yourself, you know what, that's exactly how I want to parent. Right? It's, boundaries without consequences are just suggestions. So, like, their ability to convey how you're held accountable but loved in the same vein. You know, Vincent Carroll Jackson told an incredible story about, Coach Knighton really opening up on a night where Vincent was really struggling and kind of how they were just open with each other and making themselves vulnerable. And he said, it changed the way that I felt about Nebraska in this place. I know that they're there for me. James Williams has an incredible story of how he even got here and how Coach Rule kind of insulated him and protected him from some of his vices to allow him the opportunity to try and thrive, when he was coming, as he would put it, without all the tools necessary to be equipped to function at this level. How the staff has filled in the blanks for him. I just, you couldn't be more right. It's, they're going to coach you hard, but they're going to love you harder. And it's way more than just words because they have a ton of tangible examples.
Funny you bring up James Williams. Might be my new favorite. We're going to fight over him. Might be my new favorite. You and I have to fight over him because a lot of times we like the same players. So listen, I have a tie. He has family in Oklahoma. And yeah. So I'll have to maybe get into that, but I'm pretty sure.
Itty bitty place too. Is it smaller than your place?
What? Sorry.
It's a little itty bitty place. Is it about the same size as yours?
I don't know. I graduated with 18 people, so I had one of the smallest schools in the state.
I don't know. He may be close. I'd never heard of the little town he was from, so you may be in some running.
But I believe he had relatives that played at Oklahoma too, and wanted to go to OU, but then didn't get recruited, and here he is. And I think that's going to be one of the big stories of the year, just the glimpses that we saw from him and what we heard the coaches talk about him. And I cannot wait. I have not interviewed him yet, but I am so excited to get to chat with him.
Right, you know how you have that thing, right, where you get people to say things that you just get them to open up. He is, I'm telling you, he's incredible. Like, you'll be blown away. He's amazing.
Okay, so I also heard somewhere that Caleb got in on the recruiting efforts this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly, he's just a low maintenance.
Yeah.
Really, he's bright. And he's always going to tell you the truth. And, he just doesn't need a babysitter. And so I think he's a good representation of why it works with Nebraska. I think he said, 80% of the reason he's there is just because relationally it's how he wants to be led. He said, I think the quote he gave some of the recruiting guys was, he likes tough love. He gives tough love. So it's kind of what he rallies around because it's what he's used to. And I don't know if he's talking about me or not, but whatever it is, we're proud of him. And I think the staff really appreciates the efforts because you could just tell they're recruiting certain caliber of players that are highly competitive and want to be coached hard.
You guys both talk about how y'all are a lot alike, but I feel like he's way chiller than you.
So for the most part, he is because he doesn't care as much about what other people think. So he's a lot more comfortable if people aren't happy with him or don't like him or, he's just kind of what you see is what you get. And much in the same vein as I try to be, I do want people to be comfortable around me, especially when you have when you do interviews or you're on radio or you have coworkers. He just hasn't been as much of a part of a team as I have, and so he's a little more staunch, but he does come across as having it very under control because he's extremely confident.
Well, there's no question you're a big fan of a number of these guys on this staff. We've joked a lot about your man crush on Coach White. I
have another one.
Who?
Yeah. So Coach White maybe like Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe my coach like Tuesday, Wednesday. Coach Satterfield is without question the one of the funniest people I've ever been around. He was amazing this weekend. And almost to a man, that coaching staff said, this is exactly who he is all day, every day. He didn't dress like anybody else. He's kind of a loose cannon. It's like the offense, right? Whatever they're doing, it's what they're doing. He's just not a leaf blowing in the wind. And when you combine it with his dry sense of humor, he was incredible. He may have gone to the front of the pack after this weekend.
Okay, so I was leading up to that to say, if you're a recruit, and everybody's different, right? And everybody forms the relationships differently. But if you put yourself in a recruiting position, which coach would you have the hardest time saying no to?
Oh, that is fantastic. You know it may be Coach Raiola. That may surprise some people, but one-on-one or one-on-two, he's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't really get that from his pressers, right? Because he's so sequential, right? If then, he's Mr. Linear. But as a recruiter, he's unbelievable. His wife's amazing. His kids are amazing. And he just gives you that vibe when you watch his group. Like, they kind of move as one. They leave you wanting more. Coach Raiola would definitely be up there. But I tell you, Coach McGuire is another one where you're like, even playing games, which are highly competitive, he'll say things like, that's a nice move. Yeah, I could see that. I like the way you think. You know, it's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to win, you're trying to win. Like, are you being serious with me? But it's just how he is. Those two guys would be pretty tough to say no to.
You know, it has been crazy. Every wide receiver that I have interviewed that I've asked specifically, what's it like in the room with Garrett McGuire? One of the first things they say is how knowledgeable he is, how mind blown they are with his understanding and of the game and how he teaches the game. And, you know, for a lot of people that maybe have questioned his age, I'm telling you, and it's unsolicited. It's not like I set up the question like, hey, how knowledgeable is Coach McGuire about, you know, the game of football? It's more so, what is it like being coached by Coach McGuire? And almost all of them, first thing they say is just his abundance of knowledge and how he teaches it.
His Rolodex is pretty deep, too, for his age. So he's a little bit of a historian. He's got a lot of data in there. And he's constantly wanting to know more. So even like if you're competing against him and you're playing games or you're in the room, he's picking your brain as much to get more knowledge and background about who you are too. So he just strikes me as a guy that, you know, right out of the womb kind of had a thirst for knowledge, and he's a natural on the football field because he just always wants to be in the know. He's always looking for competitive edges. How can I be better? What do I need? He's a natural fit for that staff because I'm not sure how much they sleep. And so when you get personalities like that where you just have this natural thirst for knowledge, it's a really good fit.
I got to say, I'm not surprised by Coach Raiola either. And, you know, when we had him on during his hour-long show last year, it was just awesome sitting here in the commercial breaks, and he's talking about Hawaii. He's got like a bee farm or whatever. What would it be called? Is it not a bee farm?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. I would go with that.
They make their own honey, and so he was showing me like some pictures of that. And I mean, he's just a fascinating guy, and I know he's quiet and maybe not.
You know the funny thing about that is I don't know how much movies you watch or if you're a Jason Statham fan, but there's a movie called The Beehive that just came out, and he's a lot like Coach Raiola. He was working on a lady's farm, super nice, super caring, wanted to take really, really good care of her. She got scammed, spoiler alert, out of some money, and some harm came to her, and all of a sudden he flipped the script. That's a lot like Coach Raiola. Very loving, very capable, but if you're not one of him or on that side, he can easily flip the script. I could totally see the bees being his thing.
I'm not a movie person. You could probably name one of the biggest movies of all time. I probably haven't seen it.
I'm not very good either, so I'm not even going to put you to the test.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I have not seen that movie that you're talking about, The Beehive. But I'll take your word for it.
I'm pretty bad.
Okay, let's work in a break here on Sports Nightly. DB is going to stick around for another break with us here. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody, and joined by Damon Binning tonight. And Colio, also, he wanted to make sure and tell you hi, DB.
Yeah, so that's the guy, like, no disrespect to you or Russ, but that's probably the guy that he may be first on my hangout list, because I guarantee I'm going to learn something I didn't know, and he's going to tell me in such a way that I'm going to laugh.
When people text in, because he does his Cole's joke of the week on Thursday nights, and a lot of them are calling him Colio now.
Well, has JC stuck yet? Because
no, nobody else calls me JC.
Oh, poop! I'm gonna have to say that out loud a lot more now in public.
I feel like though you call everybody by initials. Like Colio is like special.
I do like nicknames.
Yes,
I do like nicknames.
Well, Cole just wanted to make sure and say hi. You guys are our buddies.
Yep, kindred spirits.
All right. So I wanted to give you a chance here to brag on your guy. Jalen Lloyd, Nebraska track and field, wins back-to-back Big Ten titles, and the men just run away with it. Absolutely dominant. And both Jeremiah Charles and Jalen Lloyd, it was fascinating last week. We had Justin St. Clair on, and he was telling us that—
Coach of the year.
Yeah, just today, Coach of the Year. He was telling us that they're going to take both those guys, but they had not practiced. They had not competed in an outdoor event, but they are that good that they knew that they could, and they weren't, as much as they dominated, they thought it was going to be a lot closer than that. So they were relying on those two freshmen that had not competed in outdoor meet to go contribute points to help them maybe win a Big Ten title. And both of them did in a long jump and triple jump. I mean, what does that say and you have a specific viewpoint of Jalen Lloyd, of just, his just incredible athleticism, that he can do what he did all spring. He had a heck of a spring football. And then, oh, by the way, let me just go contribute points to this team title as a true freshman, having not really practiced.
Yeah, so I told you my two favorite things about Jalen are exactly why he's capable of doing that. Number one, he has a tremendous capacity to work. He is highly, highly competitive. The other thing, it's my favorite, he doesn't need a babysitter. So when you get people that are doing multiple things at once and you're thinking to yourself, something's got to give, he's going to figure out a way to put in extra time when nobody's watching to make sure that he holds up his end of the deal. So whether he wasn't able to do outdoor meets, he's finding pits, he's practicing jumping, he's challenging himself during his downtime to make sure he's getting his work in. His capacity, he doesn't complain. He just goes to work every day, and he's the perfect example of a guy that if you can't manage a guy and coach him through every day-to-day operation to get a job done, and you need him with some natural skill sets to be a go-getter, that's exactly Jalen Lloyd. And nothing proves it further than you can't coach him as much as you'd like, but man, he's going to do everything in his power to make it up to you on his own time.
Today, what is his better sport?
I still think the most upside is in football, but he's probably the most ready in track on the national level. He has fewer peers he would have fewer peers in track tomorrow than he would in football. But if you give him another 6-8 months, then the numbers of peers in football would shrink tremendously. He's probably more ready-made for track, but more upside in football. I
just wonder, this is an Olympic year, but he's a true freshman. So 4 years from now, where that might look, depending on, it's just with a guy like that, who knows how his career could unfold, because it really could go either way at this point.
Yeah, I remember in high school, he was tops in the country.
Yeah.
And anytime you have those kind of accolades at that age, I mean, it's nothing short of incredible. He's He's very, very gifted, but you combine it with his work ethic and you get something special.
Okay, so had a bit of a fun question here for you. Now that you've seen spring and you've taken in some practices and got maybe a good feel right now, just right now, who would you project to lead the Huskers in sacks? I got four different categories for you. You can probably guess where I'm going. So let's start with sacks.
That's fantastic. I am going to take Jamari Butler.
Like it? I like it. Okay, what about interceptions?
Oh, that's a good one. Give me Malcolm Hartzog.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good pick. Okay.
I don't know how much attention his counterpart Tommy may get, and they'll move Malcolm around quite a bit. I'll take Hartzog.
I can't believe you didn't go with Buddha, but I guess he did move inside, but he just seemed to have his...
He's in there where it gets all dirty and collisions and stuff.
Okay, receiving yards. Who leads the Huskers in receiving yards?
Boy, that is fantastic. Whew. Boy, that is really good. I'm going to take Nayor by just a hair.
I think there's a few guys that we'll see how it emerges once you get the quarterback settled, but...
I could see probably 3 guys being between 600 and 800.
Yeah, which is, hey, that's great for an offense. Okay, so let's close it out with rushing yards.
Oh, boy, that's a tough... I'm going to take my man EJ. I'll take Deuce 1 to lead the team in rushing.
What's funny too is like we can have this conversation now, and hopefully we're having these guys. We're having the same kind of conversation throughout fall camp. You're hearing multiple guys' names because that's what we did throughout the spring. But I thought because with all 4 of those, there's probably 4 or 5 guys at each category that you probably couldn't go wrong at this point.
Yeah, and their best ability will be availability. So we'll see who shows up, right? Because that's going to be the thing, especially with Coach Barthel. Boy, he is going to put you through the grinder and see what comes out at the end. Okay,
well, how about some NBA talk? How about my Thunder?
Yeah, you know what? For a young bunch, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA may be the most unguardable player in the NBA. All right, he just gives you a little bit of everything. Change of pace. He's got a little blow by. He can wrong foot you. He can be patient.
He can shoot the 3.
He can take games over. He is and no disrespect to Jokic, who's a really tough matchup, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander one-on-one may be the toughest guy to guard in the NBA.
And a lot of times a guy like that, it can be hard to build a team around and to get other people involved. But, I mean, he does such a good job of opening things up and then finding – because they've got a lot of offensive weapons. And I just love the camaraderie, too, that they're like that team that just doesn't care. A little bit like Nebraska basketball was last year. They don't care who scores just as long as we're getting the win. And a lot of times it is SGA.
A lot of guys that do dirty work, like Lou Dort, elite-level defender. And it's somebody different every night supporting those roles, and they're going to be a tough out. It's not a great matchup for Denver too. If those are the 2 that end up seeing each other in the Western Conference Finals,
it's funny because I don't think Denver's a great matchup for OKC because they're not real big and physical.
I know, right? It's going to be. I hope that's what it is because I think those are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference.
Do you know what Cole told me? 2 nights ago? He said, "I don't feel good about your Thunder, Jess. They're going back to OKC down 2 games."
You know what happens is when you give people as smart as Cole time to think, they'll come up with anything. If he asked him at first blush, he probably would have went OKC. But when you have like a 36 on your ACT and your Mensa, you probably overthought it.
So who do you got though? Who would be your pick right now to win the NBA Finals?
I would go with the Nuggets, but primarily because I don't trust Jason Tatum and the Celtics. So I would probably take the Nuggets, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if the champion came out of the Western Conference. I get it that Boston's the favorite, but they just don't play hard enough every night for me.
Okay, we went track, we went football, basketball. How about a little baseball? Big weekend, and this is what you want if you're a Husker fan, to come down and have a chance to win a Big Ten title this weekend.
Yep, and the cool thing is, I think as a competitor, Michigan State is trying to play their way in too. So it's all hands on deck all the time, and it's what Nebraska wanted. For as much hand-wringing and consternation as the baseball nation had, you control your own destiny. Well, you do need a little help from Purdue, which sounds weird to have to cheer for them. But if Nebraska handles business, you get the in-state rivalry with Purdue and well, not in-state, but neighborly rivalry with Purdue and Illinois. Hopefully something good there can happen. But Nebraska's set up pretty well. You've got your Thursday, Friday starters. Jackson Brockett has helped you out on Sunday. Drew Christo's rounding in the form. Caleb Clark starting to hit stride. I think Worthley is a guy that you can use on the back end of that bullpen. You still have Perry. I like Nebraska, and situationally hitting, they've gotten a lot better.
We're going to have Ben McLaughlin coming up here in hour number 2 and dive all into the matchup even more. But,
don't let him on my Caleb Clark bandwagon. He's tried to knock me off earlier this week. Tell him there's no room on the Caleb Clark bandwagon.
Okay, I'll have to let him know. But, one of the things that he has said before is just a little bit of a roller coaster, a little bit of an emotional ride. And you think about it, I mean, and Greg and I even talked about this a couple weeks ago, how confident you feel in this team for the most part going into the weekend, every weekend. And then, just weeknights, a lot of time you're shaking your head like, what is going on? But weekend series, they seem to find a way.
Yeah, it's a gritty bunch. And I think this is all, I just think this team will thrive because this is all they wanted. They wanted a chance at the end to win a regular season title, and they put themselves in that place. And you get the sense, they kind of embrace it, right? It just seems like this is who they are. This is what they like to do. They're going to be in close games. They want a chance to win it late. So why not be in it late with a chance to win a regular season Big Ten title? They're capable of getting hot. When they play well, they're really, really good. So I'm looking forward to this weekend.
And I can't wait. I know one game at a time and big things on the line this weekend, but I got to get up there next week because I think it's going to be an awesome atmosphere with, especially if the Huskers are coming off potentially a Big Ten title or a share of it.
Oh, yeah. It will be electric, and it'll be a ton of fun. And, there's this part of me, and I know I work for the Homer Network, right? But there's this part of me, Jess, that's like, okay, you get on a heater, you sweep Michigan State, maybe Illinois stumbles because Nebraska has the tiebreaker, and you win the Big Ten tournament. I could see, and I know the hosting, the committee is not supposed to take in geography into account. But don't you think they'd want to give a host spot to Nebraska, knowing what they'll draw for attendance?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
Just to break up the monotony of the regions, right? Give us one of these northern teams, quote unquote, air quotes, and throw us a bone.
Wouldn't you want an electric atmosphere? I mean, the TV networks did it every year in Omaha. It's going to be in Lincoln. Like, give them a shot. It'd be awesome.
Listen, I hope they hold up their end of it because I want to give the committee something to think about.
All right, DB, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. We're done for this week, but we'll probably be chatting with you again soon.
You get the bat signal, so whenever you need me.
All right. Thanks, Damon Bidding, joining us here on Sports Nightly. Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 coming up after this.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and L101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Experience a redefined car buying experience with Woodhouse Mazda. Visit the Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers and explore our exceptional lineup, like the versatile and capable Mazda CX-50 or the sleek and modern Mazda CX-30. Right now, receive 0% APR for 36 months or $1,500 off MSRP on the full lineup of 2024 Mazda CX-50s. With approved credit, tax, title, license, extra when financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires May 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Appreciate DB joining us here for a couple of segments. We talked a lot about recruiting and the big recruiting weekend, and Huskers did land a big-time commitment out of a four-star quarterback in TJ Lateef, 6'2", 185, and the 2025 class out of Orange, California. And John in Omaha had asked, curious what Damon thinks about the verbal commitment of quarterback TJ Lateef. And Damon said, I'm quoting him there, is 100% a true quarterback. I think of him like a right-handed Michael Penix Jr., scrambles to buy time, very good with arm angles. So that's a pretty good comparison right there, Michael Penix Jr. But got to have the depth at quarterback. And, always, I didn't ask about he didn't answer about the competition, but, if you have a young guy coming in and then you redshirt and grow and, with the four game rule now anymore with the, ability to still redshirt, I like that it gives opportunities for some of these guys to still get an experience, but still be able to redshirt. Again, 402-413-2400 is that number if you want to text in, be a part of the show tonight. We still have another fun hour coming up for you. We're going to dive into all things baseball with Ben McLaughlin here coming up in just a few minutes. So keep it here. We got much more fun ahead. No joke of the week tonight. I'm sad to say, no joke of the week. It's Wednesday. We reserve those for Thursday, so we're going to give Cole the week off, but he will be ready to go. Well, I don't know. We might be playing baseball next week. Who knows? But whenever we have the next Thursday show, Cole will be ready to go with an epic joke and hopefully tens after having a week off. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Cole, people are disappointed you're not getting the joke tonight.
They can't wait 1 week? It's just 1 week. That's all I ask of the people.
It needs to be a weekly, I don't know. I don't know if we can wait a week. That's all right. We'll give you a week off. Be ready to go
let's win the series versus Michigan State, then we'll talk.
All right. Much more to come here. Coming up on hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. Keep it here.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at gosarpy.com.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska track and field head coach Justin St. Clair was named Big Ten Men's Coach of the Year after leading the team to its second consecutive conference title this past weekend. In Nebraska tennis news, 5 Huskers from the men's and women's teams earned academic all-district honors. The NBA playoffs continue tonight as the Celtics are at home looking to close out the series against the Cavaliers. Boston leads 53-48 in the second quarter with a 3-1 lead in the series. The Thunder also play tonight as they host the Mavericks in a pivotal Game 5 with the series tied at 2 games apiece. That game starts at 8:30. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Morgan brings it in. Tyler Stone rips one to right. That's hit deep, and that ball is gone. Tyler Stone ties us up at 4. A 3-run blast to right. Stoney into the bullpen, and it's a new game here in Lincoln. McDermott, the right-hander, deals. Pineda swings and lifts a fly ball to left field. Going back is Peterson. It's over her head and rolling all the way to the wall. Bacon scores. Bland scores. A 2-run double for Pineda. And the Huskers boost the lead to 6-2 in the third.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. And again, our final show here of Sports Nightly this week because baseball moves up a day. I like that they do that. And, Damon and I were talking about that in between the segments about it's good for baseball, good for the teams to be able to have that extra day. So moves up a day to let them have another extra day's rest before getting rolling in the Big Ten tournament next week. And a lot on the line, seeding. Huskers could lock up the number 1 seed. We're going to dive into all of that with Ben. He can explain it for us and take a look at the matchup and dive into the matchup against Illinois and Purdue because that's the one we will also be watching since Illinois is a game ahead of the Huskers. So much more to come on baseball talk here in just a few minutes. But I did want to spend a little bit of time. There's kind of been a fascinating news story that it's been coming out throughout this week, and Ross Dellinger does a great job reporting for Yahoo Sports, and he's got some inside information of some potential, really some things that could change the whole landscape of college sports. Once again, we've been hearing a lot about the revenue sharing, and there's been lawsuit after lawsuit, and there's some major lawsuits right now that are the NCAA is tied up with, and they're trying to come to a settlement right now in the courts so that again the NCAA doesn't have to keep going through these lawsuits. And actually, Ross had this in his article that they could face $20 billion in back damages and risk bankruptcy, filing for bankruptcy if they do not reach a settlement. And so there's a few things that are on the table here in the settlement offer, and one of those is a revenue sharing model that would allow teams or allow college programs to divvy out about $22 million, I believe, of the revenue that they are getting from the TV network deals. And then one of them is a roster reduction. So they're looking at reducing those scholarships down to 85, or the roster, capping rosters for sports at football, it's 85. And, there's still a lot to be worked out, and it wouldn't be put into place until going into maybe the 2025 season. And Title IX still has to be worked out. There's a lot of things that have to be figured out, but it sounds like there very well could be an announcement coming out next week that could lead to, again, big-time changes here for college athletics and allow student athletes to get a part of that rev sharing. And it's a lot. It's very complicated, but it's been talked about. We had heard Trev talk about it. I know Troy Dannon has addressed it as well, but it's getting closer and closer to being here, and sounds like they're going to have to work out a settlement in here pretty quickly. So very well could be next week that we hear that news. We are planning on having Troy Dannon on here maybe in the next week or so maybe he can provide some clarity on that. And let's see. I was going to try to find what the third point was, but could be pretty fascinating story to follow over the next couple of weeks. Is the NIL thing, and that happened right when I first got here back in June of 2021, and it was talked about in the NCAA drug their feet, and I think they mishandled things for so long, and then now we're in this mess. But I do think what coaches and a lot of the athletic departments and a lot of people want is just some clarity and also just some structure, and there really isn't any. And this new model hopefully would provide some of that. And they're also talking about pitching a new governing branch that would allow to making sure that they follow the rules of the whole revenue sharing and making sure they stay in the parameters of what's set in place. So lots of big changes that could be coming, and it's a lot of unknown of how this could affect some of the other sports. How are they going to divvy out some of the money? Does Title IX apply? Does it not? And all of that. So maybe some answers coming out next week. But really crazy times. Okay, let's get to another break so we have plenty of time to chat with Ben about Husker baseball. And Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus 1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Woodhouse Nissan is an easy choice when shopping for your next vehicle. Right now, lease the 2024 Nissan Rogue SV for $296 per month for 36 months. Serving the Metro for over 20 years. This is Woodhouse Nissan. Lease for 36 months, 5,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $3,299 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Discounted price based on sale price of $32,433. VIN number RW430564. Offer expires May 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Pillar Restaurant Group is Lincoln's home for celebration. With a hand-cut steak and seasonal cocktails for your anniversary at Venue Restaurant and Lounge, a pitcher of mimosas and brunch favorites for your birthday at Piedmont Bistro, a 16-inch sub and freshly made cookie after your kids win the big game at Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs, or for your wedding in a luxurious downtown ballroom with Venue Catering and Events. Drink, dine, gather with Pillar Restaurant Group. Learn more and order a gift card for your next celebration at prgnebraska.com. That's prgnebraska.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Well, we've been talking about it all week. Huge regular season finale for Nebraska baseball with a lot on the line, and that's how we like it when you're playing for something big coming up in the final weekend. And to talk about that, to preview the weekend, we've got Ben McLaughlin, who will be on the call for us this weekend. Man, it's been some exciting times.
Yeah, this team's taken us on an emotional roller coaster the last few weeks, but what way would you rather have it? I mean, I think if you would have signed up and someone told you before the year you got a chance to go win a championship, barring a couple of results on the other end, I think we would have taken it. You know, I think this team was picked to finish 5th or 6th in the league, so it's kind of manifested itself on the field. We've had some wild swings of emotion the last couple of weeks with some 9th inning drama, but yeah, heading out to East Lansing here just a little bit, and we're gonna see what they have for us this weekend.
Okay, so you have called a no-hitter and a walk-off home run, and many broadcasters don't get either of those, let alone one of them in their entire career, and you've had both in a matter of, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a really, like I mentioned, just the emotional roller coaster and swings has just been really dramatic. And you think about, you know, the guys that have done it, right? Jackson Brockett, I think, would have been probably 12th or 13th on my list of names that I submitted before the year to throw one. You know, Cole Evans, yeah, he's been a much better situational hitter than a home run hitter, but hitless for the series, and on the first pitch breaking ball sends one over the center field wall, and not even a knock on Cole, but we just hadn't had one. I mean, we just hadn't had a walk-off in general, let alone a home run in a couple years, and then obviously the home run back in 16 by Rev. So it's been a weird couple of weeks, and then sandwich in between 12 runs let up in the top of the 9th innings. It's just there's never just a 6-2, 7-5 type of game. There's always a flair for the dramatic with this bunch.
As a broadcaster, though, have you been able to take it in, or are you just moving right along? Because, again, that's a dream come true to get to call those types of things.
Yeah, I mean, the no-hitter to me was
because I've seen some dominant pitching performances. I think I talked to you after the Brett Sears pitching performance where he was 2 over the minimum, and that was the best pitching performance I had ever seen. But what Brockett did was really special, and you don't see it a lot in baseball at any level, let alone one that you cover and one that you call. So that's an absolute all-timer. Really wish Greg was there to witness it, but just a really special night. And then, to follow it up just a couple nights later. And the thing that made the Krev home run so big was the moment that it happened. Like that, I said before the broadcast that this was an absolute crossroads for that team. If they don't win that game on Saturday, we're having a completely different conversation right now. So that's potentially a season-changing type of swing. And so I think for that reason, that one was quite massive as well.
Okay, so how did you go about, I'm sure you've thought about it, but bouncing the announcer's jinx of a no-hitter? Because Cole, we were chatting about it the next day, and he said that you guys really were just kind of ho-humming around about it. He looked at the stats, and then it was like, but you don't really think about it in that moment. So how did you balance that?
Yeah, so it's a hot topic, right? Because a lot of the announcers will tell you, it's your job to tell the listeners what's going on. But as a former baseball player, I was overly superstitious as it was. So there's no way I was going to be like, if we're playing bad, I'll throw a pen away and like start over with a new pen. That's how bad I am. But, there are other ways that you can let the audience know what's going on other than saying, hey, there's a no-hitter happening right now. So just trying to get clever with the wordplay, try and really drop subtle hints. I think I said after the 8th going to 9th, hey, you're really going to want to come back for the top of the 9th inning or something along those lines. But,
so you didn't actually say it.
I wasn't going to bear the responsibility on my shoulders. I couldn't look Jackson in the face had that not happened. But, that's a little hot button issue right now with the announcers.
So you had talked about this weekend, and could be a completely different conversation had things not gone about the way that they had. Where do you feel like Nebraska stands right now in terms of postseason play and even before the Big Ten? You feel like they're solidly in right now? They're just maybe playing for seeding?
Yeah, and I think the thing that's helping me kind of rationalize what if this weekend is a disaster with Michigan State is they're a top 100 RPI team, and it's on the road. So typically those don't hurt you as bad. Plus, you got an opportunity with RPI boosters in the Big Ten tournament. So I think they did enough against Indiana. They a little worried after South Dakota State with that RPI kind of going in a bit of a tailspin, followed by Friday. I think they dropped 11 spots in like 26 hours. So it was a little bit of a fall, but they did a good job steadying the ship. They bounced back up to right around 30, which I think is you're happy there. And the other thing that Nebraska has going for it, this time around, and I love having these conversations when they happened a few weeks ago, like getting ranked and being on national college baseball radars is so big for this sport because it doesn't have the coverage as a college football or college basketball. There are so many teams and so many programs and so many biases that if you're not being talked about, if you don't have, something going for them, if you're not throwing a no-hitter, if you're not hitting walk-off home runs, like you're just a foreign name on a piece of paper to the committee. So Nebraska's done enough to at least open some eyes and be on the radar. So I think, if they are one of the last 4 in or the first 4 out, they're probably going to get the benefit of the doubt this year just because they've been on top of mind. So that's really big. That being said, Nebraska's not on the bubble right now. Today, having this conversation, they're safely in. I think they're a high 2 seed. Which should put them in a decent draw, you would think, with a seeding of their 1 seed. So I think you're happy with that. I think, crazier things have happened to host. I mean, Nebraska's really going to need to get hot, probably going to need to run through the Big Ten tournament and raise a trophy at the end. But I think until that dream's past the rearview mirror, you're still holding on to a bit of that. But I think that just kind of paints a little bit in perspective of where this team is right now with only 3 regular season games left. I feel pretty confident with where they're at.
You know what a lot of the committees like, too, are fan bases that travel. And Husker fans would be really, they jump on board to travel and be able to support this baseball team.
They would make a regional look real good on TV. I would say that. They would put fans in the stands, over 12,000 in 2 back-to-back games and close to 20,000 for the series with Indiana. Our fans they're brave. They've sat through a lot of crappy weather days this year. Our weather for home games has been brutal this year, and there's always people there. And so it was finally nice to get some good weather to finish it out this weekend. And who knows, never say never with a host.
You talked about, too, being on TV and getting seen and for Big Ten teams, it's even harder. But Huskers are now going to be on TV this Saturday and Sunday. It was announced this week that they are going to be on the Big Ten Network. Big opportunity, right, to go show what they can do? Yeah,
anytime you get potential to be in front of, committee members or people that are persuasive in this, you definitely want to take advantage of it because, the one thing Big Ten Network does is provide good announcers, and those they do calls with coaches, and when they can portray kind of the quality of baseball that they're seeing, that's what the committee and whoever else is listening is hearing. And so obviously you want to perform well this weekend because you're in the thick of a conference championship race, but also you want to leave everybody watching and listening with a lasting memory of your program. We all know Husker fans are going to show up in droves in Omaha in a couple of weeks for the Big Ten tournament. But it's important to be playing your best baseball. And, they're 2/3 of the way there from beating Indiana. It'd be nice to take a few more steps this weekend against Michigan State and really be feeling confident heading back home.
Okay, so let's start with just, you had mentioned the Friday night and the emotional roller coaster. Those guys that came in from the bullpen, how do you feel about their psyche going into it? Because they're going to be needed from here on out.
That's been the really interesting thing about the 2024 Huskers is just how we've kind of cycled through relief pitchers. It started out where a true freshman was the first guy out of our bullpen, and Tucker Timmerman in the first weekend. He pitched twice. Now he's not really a factor. You think about guys like Casey Dice, and he struggled to start the year. Then he really found his groove, but he's been hit around a little bit of late. Jalen Worthley took a turn of being the most efficient guy we've had. So we've kind of handed Kyle Perry in that mix too, first couple weekends. We've kind of handed the ball from one guy to the next, and it's made coaching really difficult. It's been like, who do we count on? Who do we put the ball in their hands? It's made that challenging. But I think right now you feel really, really good about Caleb Clark. You wouldn't have said that 2 months ago. And the way Drew Christo pitched on Saturday, to take the emotion and the drama out of it for Christo on Sunday when the top of the ninth inning has not been kind to Nebraska the last couple of weeks, and Caleb Clark kind of the same way. He did the ninth and the 10th on Saturday. I think you're really happy with what those guys have, and that's why I think this weekend's so big. If you can get some of those guys some of that confidence back and start to get those options, I really think for the first time this year, Kyle Freilich, didn't perform how we kind of thought, and he's kind of taking his turn slumping right now. So if you can get a few of those guys with some good outings against Michigan State and pitching well in a Big Ten tournament, you feel really good about the depth going into a regional.
How important has the emergence of Jackson Brockett been here late? Oh,
it's huge. Just in the nick of time, and not just because of how well he's been pitching, but because of how big of a role he's fulfilled. Yeah. The Sunday start has been such a moving target for Nebraska all year. You can handpick a couple of starts by Will Walsh, maybe a start or two by Drew Christo. Other than that, it hasn't been good, and that's why the results have been what they have on Sundays. But, to give Brockett an opportunity, and obviously he sees that as well as you possibly could have with his performance against Kansas State, but he's backed it up. He's performed well every time after that, which is just as big. And I think the coaches are really confident putting the ball in his hand right now, and I think he's just as confident as he's ever been as a Husker, now a junior. He doesn't need to be Superman. He doesn't need to go give you 8 shutout every time. But if he can get you 4 or 5 solid innings on the third start, you feel really good about your chances.
So I did not want to go into this with Coach Bolt on Monday because I know they're going to want to take it one game at a time. But I know listeners last night when I told them you were going to be on wanted me to talk with you about the tiebreaker scenarios and what the overall picture looks like for the Big Ten and what this weekend could potentially, how it could shake out. So there's lots of different scenarios in play, and there's a lot of teams that are kind of jumbled at the top. So we got Illinois, and then Nebraska's a game behind. How does it look in terms of what if there's a tiebreaker and all of that?
Yeah, you could drive yourself mad kind of going through the scenarios. The simplest way to put it is you're a Husker fan this weekend, obviously, and you're a Purdue fan this weekend.
Yeah, boiler up this weekend.
Yeah, those are the which sounds so sour to say considering how we feel about that program, what they've done the last few years. But that's the simplest way to put it. Is if Nebraska has a 3-0 weekend and Purdue has a 1-2 weekend, if Nebraska has a 2-1 weekend and they go 0-3, Illinois, that is, they're outright champs. That's the easiest path. They're down a game right now. They would pass them a game in the standings. If they're tied, my guess is the conference would say co-champions of the regular season. However, you still have to determine a 1 seed for the Big Ten tournament. That comes down to common opponents, in which case Nebraska would get the 1 seed, and there are advantages to that too. By selecting game times for the Big Ten tournament, the number 1 seed gets that opportunity. So I think you would still probably take that right now. Being a co-conference champion is nothing to laugh at. And then things could get really messy from there, beyond, because I think everybody else is catching Nebraska and Illinois. So Purdue being one of them, Indiana being one of them, Michigan now being one of them. Iowa's finished playing now, so I don't see them being a part of it. They're out of conference this weekend. So it's very rare to have 6 teams at least, holding on to a prayer going to the last 3 games. But, the way college baseball is right now, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a clear-cut favorite in the sport in general, and that certainly applies to the Big Ten as well.
Makes for an exciting final weekend. I mean, very rarely does it come down to it like this type of scenario.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, Jess, like if you were to look at the standings 4 weeks ago, which we knew this was going to happen. And so what that did is it moved the scoreboard watching up a few weeks. Like we've been watching the scoreboard at every pitch happening in these games for 3 weeks, knowing how big of implications were going to happen. It would have been great if Iowa would have held on Sunday to beat Illinois to give Nebraska even some more cushion. But and after Friday, honestly, like I was close to just folding up the tents and being done, because Nebraska not only lost, but the 2 teams they needed to win also lost. And so we did a reverse course on Saturday and Sunday, which was great to see.
Okay, so I was going to go back, though. You were saying how you couldn't cheer for Purdue. I know that you're a big fan of Purdue Pete. Like, that is your favorite mascot.
What a weirdo. Have you seen him yet in person?
Yes.
It's in the fact that he carries around a weapon. Like, who is putting a weapon in that guy's possession?
I had to bring it up. I know he's your favorite mascot.
Number 1 in the nation every year. Nightmares provided for children.
And I think he's like the ugliest, voted on every 100%.
year. 100%.
So.
And it's got to be a joke now for them. Like, they're just doing it, because they know what kind of reaction they're eliciting from everybody else.
To me, I think Pistol Pete is right up there in the creepy factor.
Well, his head's significantly larger,
and it's
too.
I don't like human bodies with mascots either. Greg and I have had this discussion. So I think it's something about the Pete names on mascots. Okay, so you've covered the league, so since we're going to be paying close attention to that Illinois-Purdue matchup, can you break that one down for us first?
Yeah, well, tale of 2 teams, really. Illinois is built atypical to what they normally are. They're normally a big pitching and defense school, but they're just going to try and outslug you. That's how they've been built. I think they have like 4 or 5 guys over 10 home runs on the year. They are playing in West Lafayette, which I think is big. It's a much, much bigger ballpark, much more pitcher-friendly. Purdue's already proven that they're going to show up. They've had some huge crowds this year. I think their pitching staff is probably better from top to bottom from Illinois'. They're just built a little differently, the teams are, and it wouldn't shock me at all if Purdue takes the series. I would be a little surprised with the sweep either way, but I think for them it's going to come down to the bullpen and who comes up with a big swing. And right now I just trust a little bit more probably in Illinois' guys, but I think the ballpark is going to help out Purdue. I think it's going to be a really tight series.
Yeah, you were saying that because of the way the ballpark, and Illinois plays in a smaller ballpark than Purdue, so a lot of their home runs might be a little bit deceiving.
Illinois and Indiana both play in little tiny bandboxes, and Purdue's legit. It's hard to hit home runs there. It's a big yard. The wind typically is blowing in from center, from the way it's oriented. So, yeah, if you're going to hit one out there, you're going to earn it. Not to say Illinois hasn't earned their home runs. I'm just saying it's going to be a little bit more challenging than it would at home, for sure.
Okay, now let's talk Nebraska-Michigan State. Take us through this matchup. What are the Spartans? What kind of challenges will they provide?
Yeah, they're an interesting team when you look at them. Very boom or bust with their offense. Like, there are games where they have really a hard time hitting, and then there's games like they've had a couple in Minnesota where they score a bunch of runs. They blew a 12-2 lead on Sunday against Minnesota. So I can't imagine their psyche's really great right now. However, they're fighting to get into Omaha. Their season's on the line this weekend, and those teams are always dangerous when you got seniors that don't want to take the jersey off, and they're playing at home. It's a tough challenge, but talent-wise, I think Nebraska has the edge. If Sears and McConaughey continue to pitch the way that they do, I like Nebraska's chances. But we have something to play for too this weekend, and I think the Spartans are going to get our best shot.
The way that Nebraska bounced back, the walk-off, and then the way they performed on Sunday, you got to feel like they got a lot of confidence going into this weekend.
Yeah, and I think, the home run by Evans really just sparked some life into this team. They really needed something good to happen, and finally it did. And so now that school's pretty much over for everybody, I think everyone's finished up with finals now. You're worried about baseball. This is an experienced team. They love each other. They love playing for each other. You know how that is when you get teams that are really tight. They just want to keep playing with each other. And, I think that's the case for these boys right now. And they're going to try and use this positive momentum, this positive energy into this week and try and finish the Big Ten tournament the right way.
Okay, so you've called a no-hitter, you've called a walk-off home run. How about you go call another Big Ten championship this weekend?
That would be great. That would be really, really good to have that, and to have it, decided in Nebraska's hands would be the best way to do it. Instead of backing your way in on a, I guess in this case, a Saturday. Yeah, that would be ideal. That would be the ultimate trifecta.
Absolutely. All right, Ben, appreciate your time. Great stuff as always, and we'll look forward to the call coming up. You'll be in the pregame show 4:30 on Thursday. Thursday night series moves up a day this week. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, again, we got to step a break. We're going to break here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
It's being well supported by a provider who understands your health interests and goals. It's ensuring you are well connected to a team of caregivers and specialists. It's feeling well cared for by having someone you can turn to who sees you for you. That's the power of being well matched. And that's exactly what CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match does. Meet the provider who is right for you at myprovidermatch.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraskachiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Sarpy County, where great food, drink, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. And speaking of Sarpy County tourism, we are very excited to have Fred Huey back joining us, the Sarpy County Tourism Director, and also, according to Damon Benning, who we had on early in the show, the nicest man in the 60-mile radius. Nicest guy in a 60-mile radius. Fred, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks for having me back. As usual, Damon's too kind, but appreciate his friendship and being part of the Husker family network. So,
well, lots going on and lots of exciting things coming up all around Sarpy County, but we got to start with the Big Ten baseball tournament. Should be an exciting week next week, and there's lots of things to do if you're planning to spend your week up there in Omaha.
Yep, if you're coming to the metro area to Schwab Field for the Big Ten tournament, if you're traveling, I'd say consider staying in Sarpy County. Again, visit our website for lodging options. I always tell people I have 2,200 affordable rooms minutes from Schwab Field. So, but there are, it's a long tournament, and I think May 21st through the 26th. So come on up and see us in the metro.
We obviously have a lot of Husker fans that are listening, but how much have you found, too, that fans from the opposing teams really like spending their time down there, too?
We find some of them, particularly the Iowa fans. With the Storm Chasers playing the Iowa Cubs, there's some familiarity with Sarpy County and Werner Park and everything happening in the area. And so often, I think a lot of the visiting fans just want to get away from downtown. Nothing against downtown Omaha, but it's like, let's go enjoy some of the green space and kind of the open spaces of Sarpy County.
Absolutely. Well, there's lots to do if you're, again, planning a trip to the Big Ten baseball tournament or throughout the summer as school's winding down. I know a lot of people planning their summer vacation. So tell us about some of the things you can do. I know there's a lot of festivals that you guys have planned.
We always say Sarpy County summer means fun. And actually this weekend is the third and final weekend of the Renaissance Festival of Nebraska at Bellevue Berry. Then you roll into La Vista Days, Springfield Days, Bellevue Rocks, which is a riverfront festival, and then Papillion Days. But, again, as I always emphasize, there's plenty to do. Go to our community calendar. I mean, a lot of music, activities throughout the season. We are wrapping up the state high school baseball championships, so there's some great high school athletes playing. Friday, actually, at Werner Park will be the final for all three classes. Class C at noon, Class B at 3:30, and Class A at 7. So if you want to see a little more baseball, come on out to Werner Park.
Lots of baseball. Tell us about the Astro Theater.
It's so many exciting things. It's tough for us on our calendar to keep up because they're announcing concerts almost every other day. For instance, Chicago's there tonight, later early June, Three Dog Night, a little river band, and I think I mentioned the last time that they had just announced that Ringo Starr and his all-star band, so I'm pretty excited about having a Beatle in Sarpy County, but there is something for every genre of music in that facility, and it's a beautiful facility there in La Vista. Great addition to the music scene and Sarpy community.
So we had Coach Roll on last night, and he was talking about how he went to the Zach Bryan concert, and I asked him what his favorite concert was. He actually said probably Elton John. Who's your favorite concert?
You know, I had the pleasure of seeing Elton John and Billy Joel twice together.
Wow.
And that is, just great piano musicians, and so that would probably be my favorite. The Eagles would be a close second because I'm probably a little older than Coach Rule and some different musical interests. But yeah, there's been some great music. I mean, and you look at the entire area. I mean, what's happening at Steelhouse, CHI, Pinnacle Bank, the Astro, Eastern Nebraska is really hitting it as far as a music destination.
And a lot of different genres for whatever kind of music you like.
A friend of mine owns it's Heights Draft Room, which is real close to the Astro, and on concert nights they card everyone. He said he had a concert recently that 60% of the crowd were from South Dakota.
Wow. And
I don't remember the young lady's name, a country music act, but it's just like, you know, people are coming in to visit these musical shows. It's a great addition to the community, and of course with us being in the tourism business, I'm excited.
Absolutely. And we cannot forget to mention, if you need to do some shopping, Nebraska Crossing is where it's at, and a brand new Lego store.
Correct. Hopefully the next time I'm on, we will have a date certain for the announcement of when the Lego store is opening. But, you know, so if you need some summer wardrobe adjustments, Nebraska Crossing, Shadow Lake, and we have some great little boutiques in the communities of Sarpy that I'm not really a boutique type guy, but the ladies in my life are pretty excited about some of the offerings.
You brought me some goodies too to plan my game day experience with the Omaha Storm Chasers. I'm excited about that. I am going to plan a game up there this summer.
Okay, I hope so. I mean, because last time I was here, you had mentioned you had not been up there, and the Storm Chasers are off to a very good start. They are second in the International League, 2.5 games back of Scranton Wilkes-Barre, who's the New York Yankee Farm Club. And the way the International League does it, they actually do first half, second half. So even though there's an East and a West division, Storm Chasers are leading the West division, but they're still 2.5 games behind the East leader. But it's been a great season so far. The weather's pretty much cooperating, and a lot of interesting promotions coming up. So again, I want you and your family to be my guest. Pick out a date. That's why you got the schedule there, and come join us.
I'm going to take you up on that. What's cool, too, about that is you can a lot of times even see some potential MLB stars out there.
Correct.
Yep.
There's always some rehab assignments for both clubs.
Yep.
I mean, the visiting club lots of times will have somebody that's coming down. Recently, we had a weekday sellout. And that was when Paul Skeens from LSU, who is now, that was the one shot to see him in Omaha again. Was called up to Pittsburgh. So see a lot of rising stars, and you see the people coming down in rehabs. So, I mean, it's major league talent.
So many fun things to do, as we just highlighted just a few of those. So again, if you're planning your Sarpy vacation or weekend getaway, go sarpy.com for everything you need to plan your trip, or reach out to the office. Again, Fred Huey, the nicest guy, and he's 60-mile radius, I believe is what he said, but it might even be bigger than that.
Yeah, we may have to work on that. So.
Again, Fred Huey with Sarpy County Tourism, a great partner of ours here with the Huskers Radio Network. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to step aside for a break here on Sports Nightly. We're back to wrap up hour number 2 coming up after this.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting major Macy Byers with Campus News. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is building the first federal research center for climate-smart precision ag at UNL's Innovation Campus. News of the $160 million USDA facility comes as Nebraska prepares to build the new N-Farms platform near Meade, which will be among the largest precision ag research sites for universities across the nation.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Elevate your drive with Woodhouse Buick. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Receive up to $5,750 off MSRP plus 0.9% APR for 36 months on the 2023 Buick Envision Avenir all-wheel drive. With approved credit, must finance with GM Financial. Must currently own or lease a 2010 or newer non-GM vehicle to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires June 3rd, 2024. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. What a fun show tonight. Fun final show because we will have baseball tomorrow. I know they always ask on the chat, will we have a show tomorrow? No show tomorrow. We will be back on Monday for a full 2 hours. But did want to quickly, before we run out of time tonight, give a big time shout out to the communications department here at Nebraska Athletics. The Football Writers Association of America today announcing their Super 11, which is a pretty big deal. So it honors the 11 communications departments across the country, and for a lot of different reasons, but a lot of it is basically being excellent at catering to the media, how they handle their press box, their media notes, all of the above. And Nebraska has been honored for the 10th time. They're on that list for the 10th time, which I believe is second behind only Clemson. Keith Mann is the leader of that department, and I pulled up a list because, listen, we would not be able to do this show without that group of people, and they're all incredible. Think about all the sports that we talk about and cover on here, and I've got texts with all of them, and they always are quick to respond, always come through. And so Keith, Jeff Greesh, who is on the call with Matt Coatney, Seamus McKnight, MVP. He was so big for me right in my first year starting here. Matt Smith, he's the kind of the historian that a lot of times puts those stats in the media notes that Ben and Damon always allude to in the pregame show. Jared with baseball, Nate with volleyball, Maddie with track and field. We actually talked with her this week. Megan, soccer and wrestling. And let's see who else. I'm missing Maddie with men's gymnastics and another Maddie, swim and dive, and Paige with women's gymnastics. I think I got them all in there that I've talked with, but unbelievable. So great to work with, and much deserving of all the awards. There are a lot of the times the people that are behind the scenes that you don't know a lot about, but they are unbelievable here. No doubt the best in the country. I think Troy Dannon actually quote tweeted that award and said best communications team in the country. And I've worked with other communications departments. I can tell you, they are the best in the nation. So congratulations again, and Much deserved. We don't give them enough credit, but they are awesome at what they do. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, we're going to close out the show tonight making our PGA Championship picks. Who's going first? Henry? Henry up first?
I'm going to go with Brooks Koepka.
You stole my pick.
Sorry, he's just he shows up in big moments in major tournaments. So I did it last year, and I think he can do it again.
All right. Cole?
I'm going to go with, I think, probably the newest father in the PGA, which is Scotty Scheffler. They had a son a week ago be born. So, and I think he's just going to win it for their new baby.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that he might not be able to finish the Masters.
Right.
He might be in baby mode. Who knows? You think he's going to be inspired by being a new father?
I think he'll be inspired, and I think he's going to continue to be extremely good like he's been for past 6 months now. So that's my pick.
So I had actually kind of forgotten that we need to make our picks like we always do heading into majors, but Greg had texted me and he said, by the way, I'm picking Rory. So last time at the Masters, he picked Scotty. He's going with Rory. Rory is playing well. It seems to be that Rory has put some things together, and he is a popular pick going into this weekend. But listen, I had in my mind, had my heart set on Brooks Koepka. So Henry and I are going to have to go together on this one. I usually don't like to have the same picks as anybody, but I got to go with Henry.
It's the right pick.
Yeah, it is. It's the right pick. I think Brooks is going to come through. All right, Cole, your thoughts on baseball this weekend?
Very excited. So we if I got this right, Jessica, we have to sweep, and then Illinois has to drop one of their games with Purdue for us to have a share of the title. At least
one to share, yep.
Yes. I'm pretty confident. Our pitching last weekend looked really good. I know Sears had a bit of an off week, but he's been in such a good form all year. Christo was looking good. McConaughey, Jackson Brockett obviously was good on Sunday. I think our key is pitching, and I don't think we're peaking yet, but we're in good form right now. And I think our hitting's always going to be pretty good for us. So I believe we can sweep this weekend, and hope Purdue plays really well.
I've been saying it. We got to be Purdue fans this weekend. But, yeah, I mean, to me, with baseball and just carrying momentum, it's like those 2 wins that they had, and Ben had talked about that earlier about this could be a crossroads on Saturday. And for them to win in walk-off fashion and then to win like they did on Sunday, and I know great for everyone here to have Greg on the call for that, you got to think that could maybe provide some pretty good momentum going into this weekend.
I agree. So time will tell. But tune in tomorrow at
4:30, right?
4:30, yep, I believe. 4:30 for pregame, 5 p.m. for first pitch.
5 o'clock first pitch, 4:30 pregame. And also I looked it up, the Illinois-Purdue game, also 5 o'clock first pitch. And the 2 games on Saturday, or Friday and Saturday for the Huskers, will also be on Big Ten Network. So you can turn it on the TV and sync it up to your radio right here with the call with Ben McLaughlin. All right, thanks to everybody for helping out, for Henry and Cole and Ben and Damon. Been a fun week this week. We will be back Monday with a full 2 hours. Greg Sharpe planning to be here on Monday. So have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll be talking about a Big Ten title.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Discover the future of luxury with the Cadillac Lyriq at Woodhouse Cadillac. Experience the thrill of instant torque and seamless acceleration, all with zero emissions. Lease a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Tech all-wheel drive for $399 a month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year. Shop all our Lyriq inventory in-store or online today at Woodhouse Cadillac, where innovation meets elegance. With approved credit, $3,000